An underwater drone captured something terrifying in the Mariana Trench, straight out of a nightmare. The Mariana Trench is already one of the most mysterious places on Earth, plunging nearly 7 miles into darkness. But recent footage from a drone has revealed something even more chilling. Among the strange creatures of the deep, an unknown and terrifying figure has emerged. Is it a new species or something far more sinister? Let's dive in and find out. Number 1. Plastic pollution at the deepest point. In 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo made an incredible journey to the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, and set a new record by reaching 35853 feet. But what he found down there was disturbing. Instead of just discovering new marine life, he found a plastic bag and candy wrappers, trash, at the deepest place on Earth. Even in this dark, remote part of the planet, where sunlight can't reach and humans don't go, plastic pollution has made its way. Sadly, this wasn't a one-time event. Each year, about 8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean, and the fact that it's found even at these extreme depths shows how widespread the problem is. Even worse, during Vescovo's dive, his team also found new species that may have already ingested tiny bits of plastic. Which one is cuter? Like for the dog comment for the cat, called microplastics. This could seriously impact the delicate balance of life in the deep ocean, with unknown consequences for marine creatures. If plastic can reach the very bottom of the ocean, where else is it lurking? This discovery has made scientists rethink how far our plastic waste has spread and what it means for the future of our oceans. It's a worrying sign of how human activity is affecting even the most untouched places on Earth, and it's raising big questions about how we can protect these fragile environments moving forward. Number 2. The jack-o'-lantern jellyfish. Imagine a glowing, strange creature drifting in the dark waters near the Mariana Trench. During a dive at the Enigma seamount, researchers on the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer spotted something that looked like it came from a sci-fi movie, the jack-o'-lantern jellyfish. With its red and yellow body glowing like a beacon, this jellyfish doesn't just resemble a deep-sea creature, it looks like an alien spaceship. Scientists think this jellyfish is part of the Crossota genus, a type of hydromedusa that spends its entire life floating freely in the open ocean. Its appearance is just as eye-catching as its name. Inside its bell-shaped head, there are red canals that connect glowing yellow reproductive organs. The sight is truly one of a kind, which explains why it's earned the spooky nickname of jack-o'-lantern. This amazing discovery was made during the first part of the Okeanos Explorer's longer expedition, and many believe that even more exciting creatures are waiting to be found. As the exploration continues, there's no telling what other mysterious life forms might be hiding in the deep waters of the Mariana Trench. Number 3. The bloody belly comb jelly. In the deep, dark waters near the Mariana Trench, the bloody belly comb jelly swims with a strange and eerie grace. First discovered in 1979, this creature, known as a ctenophore, was officially described in 2001 and has fascinated scientists ever since, mostly because of its striking red belly. But the red color does more than just look cool. In the deep ocean, red appears black, helping the jelly to stay hidden from both predators and prey. What's also amazing about the bloody belly comb jelly is the way it moves. It uses rows of tiny hair-like structures called cilia to propel itself through the water. As these cilia move, they create a beautiful light show by bending and scattering light. This jelly can grow up to 6 inches long and thrives in the ocean's twilight zone, where it feeds on bioluminescent organisms. Its deep red belly also helps hide the light of its glowing prey, keeping it safe in the dark waters. The bloody belly comb jelly is a perfect example of how life in the deep sea has adapted to survive in such a harsh and mysterious environment. Its special features give us just a small glimpse into the many unknown secrets that the Mariana Trench holds. Number 4. The transparent barrel-eye fish. Imagine a fish with a completely see-through head. That's exactly what you get with the barrel-eye fish, one of the strangest creatures living in the ocean's twilight zone, about 1968 to 2024 feet deep. What makes this fish so interesting is its transparent, fluid-filled dome that covers its eyes. First discovered in 1939, the barrel-eye fish has been a subject of fascination for scientists because of its unusual body and how it survives in such dark, deep waters. The fish's tubular eyes can rotate inside its clear head, which means it can look around its surroundings by looking right through its head. The eyes are tinted yellow, helping the fish tell the difference between sunlight coming from above and the glowing lights of other deep-sea creatures. This built-in night vision helps the barrel-eye find food, which usually includes zooplankton and small crustaceans. It's even known to steal food from jellyfish-like creatures called siphonophores. Another amazing thing about the barrel-eye is how it avoids getting hurt by the stinging cells of the siphonophores, thanks to the protection of its transparent head. With new deep-sea exploration technology, scientists have gotten a closer look at this rare fish, and each discovery only adds to its mystery. It makes you wonder what other mind-blowing creatures are hiding in the depths of the ocean, waiting to be found. Number 5. The haunting telescope, octopus. Drifting quietly through the dark waters of the Mariana Trench is one of the ocean's most ghostly creatures, the telescope octopus. With a nearly invisible body and rotating tube-like eyes, it seems more like a phantom than a real animal. This octopus lives more than 6,500 feet below the surface, in a place where no sunlight reaches and the pressure is extremely high. Somehow, the telescope octopus has adapted to thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Unlike other octopuses, this one doesn't use jet propulsion to move. Instead, it drifts slowly through the water, with its arms spread wide, giving it a haunting, otherworldly appearance as it floats along. Its unusual eyes work like telescopes, turning to give it a better view of what's around it, whether it's looking for food or avoiding danger in the pitch-black depths. Its almost completely transparent body allows it to blend in with the dark ocean water, making it nearly invisible to predators. Because it's so hard to find and observe in its deep-sea home, the telescope octopus remains a rare sight, adding to its mystery. Every time scientists capture footage of this eerie creature, it leaves people in awe of its ghost-like beauty and how it manages to survive in such an extreme, isolated world. Number 6. The bone-eating zombie worms. Deep in the ocean, around 1,000 feet below the surface, a creepy creature called the zombie worm lives. These worms, known scientifically as osedacs, survive by eating the bones of dead sea animals, especially whales. Their name, which means bone eater, is perfect for them, because they don't just nibble on the bones, they release acid to break down the bones and get to the fat inside. What's even stranger is how they digest the bones. Zombie worms work with bacteria that live in their bodies, which help them break down bone fat, allowing them to live in an environment where almost nothing else can survive. The female worms do all the work of eating and digging into the bones, while the tiny male worms live inside the females, doing nothing except providing sperm. It's a really strange way of living and reproducing. These worms have adapted to the harsh, cold, and dark conditions of the deep ocean, where the pressure is over 1,000 times more than at the surface, but they thrive there, proving that even in the depths of the sea, life finds bizarre and unsettling ways to survive. Number 7. The Dumbo octopus. At first glance, The Dumbo octopus might seem cute, with its ear-like fins that make it look like the cartoon elephant, but don't let the name fool you. Living at extreme depths between 9,800 to 13,000 feet. In places like the Mariana Trench, this octopus is a skilled hunter in the deep ocean. It glides smoothly through the water with its fins, moving with ease in an environment so intense that it would crush most other animals. What makes the Dumbo octopus stand out is how it hunts. Unlike other octopuses that use sharp beaks, this one swallows its prey whole. It feeds on snails, worms, and other small creatures in one big gulp, making it a serious predator despite its cute appearance. Interestingly, the Dumbo octopus doesn't have an ink sac for defense. Instead, it relies on its ability to move quickly and change colors to avoid danger. These unique traits help it survive in one of the most extreme places on Earth. Even how the Dumbo octopus reproduces is unusual. The females carry eggs in different stages of development, and they can store sperm for a long time, waiting for the right moment to fertilize their eggs. This gives them the flexibility to reproduce when conditions are best, which is important in the deep sea where food and opportunities are limited. With its rare appearance and fascinating behavior, the Dumbo octopus continues to amaze scientists who study life in the deepest parts of the ocean. Number 8. The terrifying sea devil, anglerfish. Deep in the darkness of the ocean, especially in places like the Mariana Trench, lives one of the most terrifying creatures you'll ever hear about, the sea devil anglerfish. This creepy fish, with its strange looks and glowing lure, truly lives up to its scary name. It can be found swimming at depths of 3280 to 6561 feet, where sunlight never reaches. What makes it even more eerie is the glowing appendage on its head that acts like bait. The light draws in unsuspecting prey right into its sharp, menacing jaws. The sea devil's dark, jelly-like body and needle-sharp teeth give it an almost alien appearance, like something out of a horror movie. But it's not just how it looks that's terrifying. Its way of reproducing is even more bizarre. The female sea devil, which can grow up to 8 inches, is much bigger than the male. The tiny males attach themselves to the female's body and live there permanently, fertilizing her eggs. What's even creepier is how little we know about this creature. It's rarely seen, and because it lives in such deep, harsh parts of the ocean, studying it is really difficult. Every time scientists come across this strange fish, it adds to the mystery. We're still learning about how it survives in the freezing temperatures and crushing pressure of the deep sea. Number 9. The prehistoric goblin shark. The goblin shark is like something straight out of prehistoric times, and that's because it comes from a lineage that's over 125 million years old. This strange-looking shark, often called a living fossil, has a long, flat snout and a jaw that can shoot forward to grab its prey, making it one of the weirdest creatures in the ocean. It lives in deep waters, usually over 330 feet down, and sometimes as deep as 4,270 feet, in places like the Mariana Trench. The goblin shark's snout is covered in special organs that sense the tiny electric fields given off by nearby animals. When it senses prey, it can extend its jaw at lightning speed, almost like a trap to catch its meal. Even though it looks frightening, the goblin shark isn't dangerous to humans. It mainly eats fish, squids, and crabs, and it's not a fast swimmer, so it relies on sneaking up on its prey instead of chasing it. Growing up to 20 feet long, the goblin shark is quite large, but its soft body and small fins make it move slowly through the water, giving it an almost ghost-like appearance. It's rarely seen because it stays deep in the ocean, far from where most people go. Every time scientists spot one, they get a glimpse into a past world, which makes the goblin shark one of the most interesting yet mysterious creatures of the deep sea. Number 10. The deep sea dragonfish. At 5,000 feet down in the Mariana Trench, the deep-sea dragonfish hunts in total darkness. Even though it's small, measuring just 6 inches, this little predator is incredibly fierce. Its jaw can extend far beyond what most fish are capable of, and its sharp, needle-like teeth are nearly invisible thanks to their transparency. This makes it incredibly difficult for prey to see the dragonfish coming. The dragonfish is an ambush predator using a glowing lure on its body to attract prey. The light tricks smaller fish into thinking they've found something to eat. When the prey gets close enough, the dragonfish strikes fast, trapping it in its nearly invisible teeth. Scientists still don't know a lot about how these fish reproduce because it's so hard to study them in their extreme habitat. However, it's believed that they release their eggs near the surface of the ocean, where the young develop before eventually sinking into the deep sea. With its strange appearance and deadly hunting skills, the deep-sea dragonfish is one of the most mysterious and terrifying creatures of the deep. Number 11. The ghostly giant amphipod. The giant amphipod is a creature unlike any you'd expect to find in the deep sea. These strange scavengers can grow up to 1 foot long, which is much bigger than their smaller relatives. With their translucent, ghost-like bodies, they blend right into the dark waters of the Mariana Trench, where they live at depths of around 16,404 feet. Giant amphipods feed on organic matter that falls to the ocean floor like the remains of dead sea creatures. In this way, they play an important role in recycling nutrients in the deep-sea ecosystem. Some species of amphipods can even glow in the dark, using bioluminescence to communicate or attract prey. But because they live in such extreme conditions, sightings of them are incredibly rare. Unfortunately, even these remote creatures are being affected by pollution. Researchers have found microplastics inside some amphipods, showing that even the deepest parts of the ocean aren't free from human impact. The giant amphipod is a reminder of how far pollution can spread, even reaching places we rarely see. Despite living in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, they can't escape the reach of human activity. Number 12. The Abyss of Challenger Deep. Challenger Deep, found in the Mariana Trench, is the deepest point on Earth, sinking to around 337 feet. To put that into perspective, it's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. If you placed Everest into Challenger Deep, its peak would still be 1 mile below the ocean's surface. At these incredible depths, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. So intense, it's hard to even imagine. There's no sunlight this far down, so the deep waters of Challenger Deep are pitch black. The only light comes from the bioluminescent creatures that glow in the darkness. Despite advances in deep-sea exploration, very little of this mysterious place has been explored. The first time humans reached the bottom was in 1960, when explorers Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh spent about 20 minutes down there, but they couldn't see much because of all the silt stirred up when they landed. Even today, only a few missions have managed to dive that deep. Challenger Deep remains one of the most unexplored places on Earth, and it holds many secrets we haven't yet uncovered. The crushing pressure, complete darkness, and extreme isolation make this abyss one of the most challenging environments to explore. Number 13. Nuclear waste. The Mariana Trench, being the deepest part of the ocean, has raised concerns about being used as a dumping ground for nuclear waste. While there isn't any confirmed evidence of nuclear waste being dumped directly into the trench, the thought itself is troubling. Between 1946 and 1993, several countries, including the US and the Soviet Union, disposed of nuclear waste in the oceans. About 200,000 tons of radioactive waste was dumped globally during this time. Even though treaties now ban this practice, the idea of using the Mariana Trench for nuclear waste was once seriously considered due to the trench's geological stability. The theory was that the trench's tectonic movements might eventually push the waste deep into the Earth's mantle. However, this idea brings up some scary risks. If the containers holding the waste were to corrode or break open, radioactive materials could leak into the ocean, potentially poisoning the marine life that calls this place home. The creatures living in the trench already deal with extreme conditions, and adding radiation to the mix could make their survival even more difficult. There's also the danger of bioaccumulation, where harmful substances build up in the bodies of marine animals, possibly making their way up the food chain and eventually impacting humans. The idea of contaminating such a fragile and mysterious ecosystem is deeply concerning. As people become more aware of the importance of protecting deep-sea environments, the thought of using places like the Mariana Trench for dumping nuclear waste raises serious environmental worries. It's a reminder of how our actions, even in the most remote corners of the Earth, can have lasting consequences. Number 14. The USS Johnston wreck. The USS Johnston, or DD-557, a World War II ship, now lies deep in the Mariana Trench. This destroyer was sunk during the fierce Battle of Leyte Gulf in 1944 and rests at an incredible depth of 2,180 feet, making it one of the deepest shipwrecks ever found. The ship is remembered for the bravery of its crew, especially Commander Ernest E. Evans, who led a courageous but ultimately doomed attack against a much larger Japanese fleet. His heroic actions earned him the Medal of Honor after his death. Out of the 327 crew members aboard the Johnston, 186 lost their lives in the battle. When the wreck was explored, no human remains were found, which adds a weird feeling to the already haunting deep-sea environment. The wreck was first identified in 2019, but it wasn't until 2021 that a submersible fully explored it. Despite the years and the harsh conditions, the ship's bow and gun turrets remain mostly intact. At such crushing depths, where there is total darkness and immense pressure, the USS Johnston is slowly being consumed by the ocean. However, the ship remains a powerful reminder of the lives lost and the fierce battle fought in one of the most unforgiving places on the planet. Number 15. Hydrothermal vents. Deep in the Mariana Trench, there are strange and powerful features known as hydrothermal vents. These vents shoot out superheated water, reaching temperatures over 400 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt metal. This boiling water blasts into the cold waters of the deep ocean, where temperatures are just above freezing at around 1 to 4 degrees Celsius. The sharp contrast between the boiling vent water and the icy surroundings creates a mysterious and extreme environment. Some of these vents, called black smokers, release dark, toxic clouds filled with minerals like sulfur. As these minerals cool, they build towering chimneys that can grow as tall as 180 feet. These tall, dark structures look like something out of a forgotten world, hidden in the deep ocean where sunlight never reaches. Even though the water around the vents is filled with toxins, life still thrives here. Strange creatures like giant tube worms and unusual crabs survive by using bacteria that convert the toxic minerals into energy, a process called chemosynthesis. These vents are not just fascinating for the life they support, but also for the danger they present. Located along tectonic plate boundaries, they exist in areas that can be geologically unstable. Shifts or eruptions can change the landscape in an instant. Number 16. Mariana snailfish. The Mariana snailfish, or Pseudoleparus swirei, is truly the king of the deep ocean, living in places where almost nothing else can survive. These fish are found as deep as 27,900 feet in the Mariana Trench, one of the most extreme environments on Earth. To give you an idea of how intense it is down there, the pressure is so strong that it's like having an elephant standing on your thumb. Yet, the snailfish has adapted perfectly to this harsh world. Its body is flexible, with a skeleton that's part cartilage, helping it handle the crushing pressure. Unlike most fish, its skull is open, which helps it deal with the extreme pressure without collapsing. The snailfish has a soft, translucent body and large fins that help it move easily in the deep waters. This fish feeds on small crustaceans and shrimp and is a top predator in this dark, lonely environment. Another cool fact is that it lays pretty large eggs for such a deep-sea creature, with each one about 9.4 millimeters in size. This helps their young survive in such a tough place. The Mariana snailfish is an amazing example of how life can adapt to even the most extreme places on Earth. Number 17. The headless chicken monster. Now, here's a creature with a name that's as strange as it looks. The headless chicken monster, or Anipniastes eximia. This bizarre sea cucumber gets its name because it looks like a chicken without a head. Its jelly-like body, which can grow between 6 and 25 centimeters long, is see-through, so you can see its insides. But this creature isn't just weird-looking. Unlike most sea cucumbers that stay on the ocean floor, the headless chicken monster can swim. It has little fins that let it move up and down in the water. When it feels threatened, it puts on a light show, releasing a glowing cloud of bioluminescence to scare off predators. It's a fascinating survival tactic in the pitch-black depths of the ocean. The headless chicken monster feeds by using its tentacles to sift through the ocean floor, eating tiny organisms and particles. It's usually found at depths of over 5,200 feet and has been spotted in places like the Southern Ocean. This strange creature is yet another example of the weird and wonderful life forms lurking in the deep ocean. What do you think about these eerie discoveries from the Mariana Trench? Are these the most intriguing finds, or do you believe other deep-sea mysteries top them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible discoveries and hit the notification bell to stay updated. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends who love ocean mysteries.